Well, hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Joanne, the Learner Lawyer. Yes, I've completed my first year and I'm doing summer units now to start on my second year. So I'm breaking the year up. Instead of doing 2 semesters with 4 units, I'm doing 2 semesters with 3 units and 2 units over the summer. And I have an option, depending on how I go, of picking up that 3rd unit over the summer if I would like to. So this is a 2, so I'm starting. So we're doing really well. The results, I think, for next semester, for my semester, should come in a few days. And I start again on Monday doing workplace law, which is going to be very, very interesting. Oh, and I'm doing another unit. I'm repeating a unit because I just missed out. And I just thought, you know what? It was one of the first units I did. I didn't really get my head around it. I thought maybe doing it again might help. So, yes, I'm going to repeat a unit. But that means that I'm 1 up because I've passed all the subsequent units around it. So, which is really interesting. So I think I'm going to have a better understanding. Who knows? I may be top of the class. So if you follow Friendly Jordies at all, you would know that he's currently facing a contempt charge for an interview that he did with Troy Stoltz, who was a whistleblower, who is a whistleblower for Clubs New South Wales. He involved the Parliament he alerted the Parliament into some practices. Troy Stoltz has actually shared this article. New South Wales independents demand inquiry into clubs hold over major parties. So there seems to be, and as Friendly Jordies has reported, there seems to be Clubs New South Wales seems to have a hold over, particularly the Liberal National Party, but over the major parties. So it says 3 key independents are demanding New South Wales Premier Dominic Perrottet establish a special commission of inquiry into the undue influence clubs and pubs have on major parties as the coalition faces an internal battle over cashless gaming cards. Perrottet faces renewed pressure to clean up the state's gambling industry after calls by independents Alex Greenwich, Greg Piper and Joe McGirr for a powerful inquiry into gambling harm and the influence of the gambling industry over public policy. So you've got here the Premier of New South Wales here, you've got Independent Alex Greenwich, and you've got the National leaders Paul O'Toole. The trio of independents has been an essential bulwark of support for the current minority government. Greenwich said on Wednesday the introduction of a mandatory cashless gaming card was his priority and would determine which party he would support in the event of another minority government after the March election. So March next year is a New South Wales election. Perrottet's push to have the cashless gaming cards in pubs and clubs will also divide the coalition, with Nationals leader and Police Minister Paul Toole not backing the measure. Toole said on Wednesday that technology wasn't there to introduce the cards, and the government needed to work with the industry despite the damning findings of the New South Wales Crime Commission. The highly anticipated report from the powerful Crime Commission last week found a significant amount of money which is put through poker machines is the proceeds of crime, including drug dollars. The report called for the introduction of cashless gaming cards. Greenwich, with the support of Piper, McGirr and the Greens, wanted to move an amendment to the government's registered clubs bill to make cashless cards mandatory in clubs. I mean, that would essentially get rid of the money laundering aspect and stop drug money from being used. However, the bill, which would reform how clubs operate, included provision to allow the use of facial recognition and excluding problem gamblers, have been put on ice and will not be debated until the final sitting weeks of Parliament. Despite the bill being axed, Perrottet said on Tuesday he declared he was certainly in favour of pursuing a cashless gambling card. Toole said the clubs were valuable community hubs in regional New South Wales, including doubling as evacuation centres when needed, and they had to be involved in determining any reform. Clubs are pivotal to regional New South Wales and they continue to play an important part of our community. He said, I'll be sitting down with the industry to determine the best path forward. A Nationals MP speaking on the condition of anonymity said that a cashless gambling card was widely unpopular within the party. We're focused on regional communities where the issues the cards are trying to address aren't particularly relevant, the MP said. The MP said there were concerns over potential unintended consequences the cashless cards could cause regional clubs. The lobby group behind clubs and pubs have been long considered highly effective campaigners and have significant resources and financial backing. A spokeswoman from Clubs New South Wales said the suggestion the industry has successfully lobbied for the proliferation of electronic gaming machines across the state was completely false. In fact, the number of gaming machine entitlements in New South Wales has fallen by more than 4,000 since 2010, and there are nearly 10,000 gaming machine entitlements not being used by pubs and clubs in the wake of COVID-19. The New South Wales Hotel Association was contacted for comment. The appendants, however, warned in their letter that there is strong evidence that a substantial contribution of gambling revenue comes from problem gambling and serious crime, but little action has occurred to date, and clubs and hotels continue to try and block the reform. There's a long history of clubs and hotels influencing public policy that has given the industry special treatment and facilitated the proliferation of electronic gaming machines across the state, the letter to Parate says. The letter said Labor and the Coalition always sign a memorandum of understanding with Clubs New South Wales before any election, which has maintained the club's gaming tax regime and operating conditions. Clubs and hotels have profited considerably from the lax regulations. Continuing as business as usual approach, gaming regulation is clearly untenable, it said. We strongly believe that a special commission of inquiry would be able to provide considered and objective advice to the government and the people of New South Wales, the best way with harm minimisation, criminality and unfettered public policy. So we've got two sides of the coin there. Yes, so there's always a memorandum of understanding between the Coalition and the Clubs New South Wales, which I find to be very scary. So this was on October 26th. This was October 26th, that the gambling of billions of dollars of dirty cash through New South Wales poker machines could be combated by the mandatory use of cashless cards, according to a joint law enforcement agency inquiry. So, and that was really what Trey Stoltz was talking about, the fact that a lot of the money that was going through the poker machines was dirty money. And New South Wales has taken a private prosecution out to silence Troy Stoltz, who has terminal cancer, and because Christo Lenker interviewed him on Friendly Jordies channel. Friendly Jordies, Jordan Shanks has also been given a private prosecutor. He's also being prosecuted as well. So it's very, very bizarre. It's a whole bizarre thing. But it looks like at the moment the party, the New South Wales government in itself can't even get to an agreement amongst itself. So anyway, I'm interested to hear what you've got to think about it. I'm not a big fan of pokies. I can see why people like them. They're addictive. Should they be everywhere? Should there be limits as to where they're placed? I know that they do a lot of revenue, particularly in regional Victoria. Is having a cashless card going to assist regional Victoria when in a lot of cases some regional areas have a majority vote, or areas where there's older population where they're not likely to have cards? We've just seen the Indue card get scrapped, and that was a cashless debit card. That's the same system. Is this going to have the same? Are we going to have the same problem that it's not going to be able to be used in some places and can be used in other places? I'm interested to hear what you think. But yes, you can hit like and subscribe on your way out. And thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.